Among college students, the likelihood of experiencing problems and harm during college increased with the increased amount of heavy drinking. Heavy drinkers are twice as likely to miss college and were more likely to report poor study patterns and an impact on grades. In addition, these students were less likely to cope well with the stress and anxiety of college.
One of my friends peed on a guard and I fell out of a tree.
Money problems, fights, unsafe sex, accidents and injuries were all 3 times more likely to occur in those who are regular binge drinkers during college.
Getting sick on a table in a cup with my friends is probably one of my lows.
I once tried to pierce my own ear, which ended up with me repeatedly stabbing my ear, and I still have the scars.
Alcohol can lead to disinhibition and poor judgement, leading to bad decision making and risk taking.
I was on holiday abroad and decided I wanted to play a game. I made up a game where we had to race across the main road and try to dodge the cars.
And problems such as financial worries and damaged relationships.
My boyfriend lives in Australia. One night I decided that I would use my dad's credit card to book flights over to see him. I didn't remember until I got the flight itinerary in my email.
I got sick in a taxi on my way home once and I got charged €200. I had no money as well, so I had to go beg my parents for it.
An Irish survey indicated that the social harms which resulted from another person's drinking were often higher than those reported from an individual's own alcohol use.
I accused my best friend of getting with my boyfriend and got into a massive row. Ended up having to do some serious making up to both of them for the next few weeks.
College students in Ireland who are regular binge drinkers are 2 to 3 times more likely to engage in unintended sex than those who are non-drinkers. This can lead to major issues such as crisis pregnancy and STI contractions.
Bad decisions. Is a long list of boys' names appropriate?
45% of men and 26% of women admitted that in the past alcohol consumption had contributed to engaging in unprotected sex. In those aged 18 to 25 years old, alcohol and drugs were the reason for failing to use protection in 33%. 28% of all injury attendances to the A&E department were alcohol related. Highest percentages presented between 12 a.m. and 6 a.m.
I sliced the top of my big toe off with the Debs.
Males were mostly affected, and with almost half of those admitted between 18 and 29 years old. Of these, 13% were known to have alcohol dependence. The rest were social drinkers. Patients admitted that the injury would not have happened if not drinking at the time.
I fell in a wine glass once and had to go into hospital. Ended up needing 6 stitches.
I fell down the stairs of a nightclub once, while out with my friends for the birthday, and ended up in A&E having torn 2 ligaments in my foot. It still really hurts.
Alcohol is a drug of dependence and can act as a gateway to the use of illicit drugs for some, with polydrug use becoming a common problem among those who drink alcohol. This gateway effect of alcohol is increasingly recognised in cultures where binge drinking is prominent, such as in Ireland. In a course study published in 2008 among those aged between 14 and 19, half of those studied reported having used an illicit drug, with 13% regularly using cannabis.
I went to a festival with a group of friends one summer. I ended up getting far too drunk one night, and when somebody offered me some pills, I decided I'd try them. The next thing I remember, I was waking up in the hospital the next day. Apparently I'd collapsed and passed out and had to be brought to hospital. They discovered that I was allergic to the cocaine I'd been given, and it had caused me a near fatal reaction. Apparently I'd almost died.
In reality, it is the much greater number of low to medium volume drinkers in a population who drink to excess on occasion that account for much of the acute alcohol-related problems, such as aggression, violence, injuries and poor work performance, which are often associated with episodes of intoxication.